This is an art stream. I don't draw. I used to draw. Not doing so much of that anymore. But I figured, why not try to stream some art for you? Cause got nothing better to do. So I figured I'll start by drawing some simple, beloved, maybe Nintendo characters because they're fun and simple and everybody knows them. And I'll warm up with that because I am rusty and I feel like that'd be a good start. Let's do something quick and dirty. So I want to draw Mario. Thing is, you sometimes fuck up without reference. So I'll have a little picture of Mario on my phone just to make sure I get the features right, I mean, it shouldn't be too difficult since he's such an iconic character, but little niche details you can add in there that really make the man, make the plumber. So he doesn't have a strong chin, but he's a bit husky. Our boy Mario is a husky gentleman. His face goes like so, and then he has a nose. No, his nose is has a nice round, like bulbous nose, and it sort of balloons. It doesn't really go slope down the way a human nose would. It sort of balloons out of the middle of his face. It's kind of weird, and it's a bit deformed when you think about it. So I'll stop thinking about it. It has like very big, lovable eyes. They aren't so lovable now when I draw them, but you know what? Let's have his eyebrow just go to town, or we can just do some of this action and a bit of that. And it's not Mario without a mustache, obviously. A mustacheless Mario is like a film without the popped corn. So we'll get the mustache in there. Now I'm thinking, how about the nose right there. Now let's maybe change things up a bit. What can we do with this partial Mario head we've got? I see his eyebrows are kind of like this. They're thicker than I've initially went for. So we can... God, drawing is so hard, you guys. So... But yeah, I haven't drawn anything in so long. And that's fine. Life tends to get in the way of some things, and sometimes you're just a lazy piece of shit, which I am. And you could probably hear my dog snoring in the background again, because that's her thing. Apparently, she's a snoring pup. So, how does his, like, he's got a weird sort of shape, because he goes, he does have puffy cheeks, but his nose does protrude a bit, and his mouth is a mystery because he doesn't have an upper lip. He just has the teeth come out. and I feel like if I just hint at a chin there, it's almost enough of a replacement for a mouth. It's weird because having Mario smile with his mouth closed, it looks a bit odd because it's just, if you don't get the right line in there, it sort of wanders off, and you sort of lose the nose, the Mario, not the nose, sorry, the mouth. God damn. Okay. So I guess that's a mouth. How the fuck does the rest of his... I should have planned a bit better, because I didn't know I was gonna throw down a Mario, but here we are. And it's a quick and dirty Mario. So get that. And ooh, he's a bit, saucy. That's a saucy Mario. Anyways, God, my shortcuts are a mess. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird how some of these classic designs that are so simple, just simple features, but you really gotta nail them down if you wanna capture the essence of a character. There's a brilliance in the simplicity that is also very direct. It's such a, he's a happy, fun-loving, sort of goofy children's character, and he does have a very simple design that anybody can draw, but getting it down 100% and saying, yep, that's the exact same energy that he has in like the official art, can be tricky, I find. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just not good at drawing stuff, which is, it's entirely possible, even probable. So we can sort of do this thing, and ooh, I like this. Yeah, he's got this whole thing going, and then he does have his hat, and his hat is not as straightforward like baseball cap. It sort of has its own curve to it. It's not exactly as direct. Oftentimes when I see people, when I see people cosplay as one of the Mario brothers, and they have a red baseball cap with an M on it, I'm not knocking it. I've never cosplayed as anything, but I'm like, there's a different, it's not the same shape exactly, it's a bit of something. It's a bit of something. Let's have him blush a bit. It's like, ooh. Like a tiny... Nah, that's something you can do in coloring. But let's... Yeah, that's bad. All of this. Maybe I can shrink it? Maybe. You don't know me. Maybe I can. I don't think that fixes it. I think it's still not that great. What do hats look like? Really? it's I'm lost for words, and I'm losing my mind. Very mildly so. Which is, I guess, if you're gonna lose your mind, might as well have a very calm way of going at it, one that doesn't interrupt anybody's day. Might as well. So, just so many lines. This is, by the way, what most digital artistry is. It's drawing lines and then Control Z-ing the fuck out of them, and that's all you can do. That's your life. So, let's see. He does have sort of curves, and the hat. It rises, and then it slopes, right? Like this. Something like that. And maybe I can take down the edge of the cap so we can like highlight the circle a bit more. The famous and iconic M circle. Yeah, maybe. Is that it? Is that working? I mean, it looks like Mario, which isn't hard to do because you can sort of, because he's such an iconic character, you can even go like, dupe. You can do this and do that, and have this like as a mustache. You know what? Even when I'm like crapping out a Mario, that's still like this, and you go like this and that, and you do this and you do that, and you give him his hat, put an M on it, and voila, you've got yourself a Mario brother. So, I mean, because he's such a well-known figure, this works about as well as this, perhaps even better. I'm liking this one better. Yeah, I don't know. It's fun. It's fun. I'm having fun. Shut up, I am. Let's see. I mean, let's just switch this M to an E because a W is already taken. So we have an Eduardo. That's another Mario brother. We'll put him here in the side. There we go, buddy. That's OC. Do not steal. There we go. There we have it. That's my OC, Eduardo, the plumber. No, let's leave him bald, and we're gonna do a more detailed Eduardo the plumber one day. Not today, or maybe later. I don't know. What should this Mario head be doing? I mean, I don't know. It was fun drawing this Mario because he's such a fun character. Let's see. He does have a bit of a gut, you know. He's like I said, a husky. So he doesn't really have a neck. I'm saying, in my mind, he always like had a big like this and that, and sort of a bulging, like veiny sort of neck, and just massive, entirely straight. Wait, let me fix that. entirely straight pecs. But yeah, he doesn't have neck, apparently. So my memory's off. Let's see. So what can we do with this plumber? Let's have him like hold a coin and do a signature, sort of like a V for victory sort of thing. Well, that should be fun and simple and a nice warm up, right? So let's then have this go. He does have very he doesn't have realistic fingers. I mean, he has all. He doesn't have all 5 of them because he's a Japanese character, and those usually tend to have all 5, either 5 or 3. They don't do 4 fingers in Japan, but he does have 5 fingers, and he tends to do this pose, which in Japan means victory. And if you turn around your hand, it means, I believe in the UK, it's like up yours. So that's an easily knowable fact you got there going for you. And I believe in some countries they changed some of his poses, or was it on another game? Because they do have there have been something about the number of fingers changing from different countries. You know, an American game that has a character with 4 fingers changes into 5 or 3. I know that what's his face? The alien from, was he Abe? I can't remember. Abe's Odyssey, that game for the PS1. They had to change the number of fingers there to accommodate to the Japanese market, because surprise surprise, they have a thing with 4 fingers, which I think it's either something that has to do with I can't remember, but something that has to do with the working class there, where like a certain class of people were so brutally mistreated and had such poor working conditions that they've like this. It's became 4 fingers became the symbol of that working class or something like that. Look, if you're going on Twitch trying to find genuine lessons about Japanese culture and history, then you are on the wrong platform. Just do your own research and don't trust what some internet schmuck says. Foreshortening is super hard, guys. I am struggling with it. Let's just take a look back. What do I want this guy to sort of what do I want to work out how this guy's gonna go? I'm taking so long on such a simple thing, which part is because I'm multitasking and talking, which I mean I'm evidently not great at, but also because I am super rusty when it comes to drawing stuff. So, you know, I'm doing a bit of Mario. Hey, Mario! Hey, it's me, Mario. He doesn't talk like that. Which is weird, because you'd think like a plumber, like a Brooklyn plumber, would have, well, he does have an accent, but it's not like, hey, my brother Tony. That's my Italian accent. That's my American Italian accent. Uh, you'd think he'd have more of a gruff voice, a mustachioed gentleman in his, I guess, 30s. Would have a bit more of a yeah, I fixed your plumbing. I don't know what that was, but you know, more of a gruff tone. But no, he's such a happy-go-lucky, merry individual. So I don't know. How do things work? Let's see if I can figure that out. If we can figure that out together, wouldn't that be just grand? I think it will. It will be grand, you guys. Be pretty grand. Oh yeah, forgot about Eduardo. So I don't know. I mean, he does this, and then it's sort of like this, and he does have the gloves, which are like this, and like the shirt. Ooh, I do like how that went. I'll go. That called a happy accident. So, and have his sort of back go right here a bit, and he does have a bit of a tum here, and then I'll increase the opacity on this eraser. Thank you. So like, peace, bitches. I don't know. Yeah. This is at least I'm having fun, and really, that's all that you can ask for. Having fun, doodling Mario. This doesn't go up here. It's more here. I don't know. Do I look like I... Well, you can't see me. I don't look like I know what I'm doing. Don't trust the word of someone who almost exclusively wears sweatpants. And since I am one of these people, you shouldn't take my word on it. I don't know, I might be insane. I'm gonna let that sink in, just in silence. I'm sitting in silence. Well, I'm not. I'm fantasizing about sitting in silence, and I am just ruminating on the possibility that I am, in fact, insane. So, I mean, I am doing the exact same thing, hoping for a different result with all these very samey lines, I might add. So he does have this sort of thing. So his belly is a bit more like dense and sort of concentrated. He's not that fat, but still, you can sort of work. I can work with that maybe. Nah, this is where the action's at. He does have a what's called a fupa. Let's go with a fupa, which I like. Yeah, it's weird. He sort of has shoulders sometimes, but other times he doesn't. Well, he does, but when it comes to foreshortening, it's odd. It's an odd thing. So, can I make this, like, can I make this work somehow? He does this thing. And he has his hand here. And maybe like some of this action right there. There we go. It's a Mario. It's a bit of Mario, you know? Everyone likes a bit of the old Mario now and then. Unless if you're, you know, not into Nintendo games, which is your right as both a consumer and a person. But it is your right, but you are wrong. You should like Mario. Okay, this is how you remind me of what I rather really am. So did I do this right? I feel like I fucked it up somehow. Maybe I can do this some other way. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I can. Here's the thing about a lot of fan art I've seen. It's like, well, let's first give him a bit of a buttocks or a tuchus, if you'd like. They always, like, fan artists always feel like they should have a little twist, and I feel like that's kind of a dumb thing. Like, it's cute, but I think some of these designs are just fine the way they are. I know it might come off as controversial to say, and that is sort of a dick thing to say, so I don't know. I'm wrong about that, actually. Some of these have been really cool. Fucked it up. Yeah, this is not that great of a thing. I'm taking so long, by the way. This is all I've done in nearly 30 minutes. So, I should tell you about how I do things. Then again, I am narrating and thinking about stuff. It's sort of a therapeutic thing, you know. You sit down with a Wacom in your hand and you whack 'em up. Wait, no, don't take that out of context. But you sit down with a stylus and you talk about your thoughts and your feelings, and you're a better person for it. And maybe we can make this hand larger if God wills it. Yeah. It looks like God is fucking willing it, alright. Yeah. I don't know if the mic picks up my dog, but if it does, I either apologize or appreciate it, depending on how whoever is watching this feels about it. So we get a bit of a more sausagey, more of a round sort of fingers going. And his gloves are slightly more pronounced here in the wraparound, sort of like Mickey Mouse or Bugs Bunny, really. He does have that Mickey Mouse quality to him, just a universally likable character, despite being kind of a weird stereotype. So, can he swing from a web? Let's see. He's got his legs going. His legs sort of stretch out. Go here. And we can take his other leg down there. Just you know. And let's do some of that. And he does have this going. I do like try to get that sort of happy, innocent, joyful energy in there. So it isn't like such a. And I do want. There are so few details to Mario as far as his design goes, that I kind of want to get the few details that are there right, and that's just sort of weirdly anxious about something that should be fun and relaxing sort of person that I am. So do with that what you will. And maybe I'll draw Eduardo next, only far more interesting. Like, I mean, there have been Mario OCs, fewer than Sonic OCs, obviously, but I've seen them. I've seen a few, the odd Mario OC or two. I mean, some of the characters are in Paper Mario are basically Mario OCs. What's her face? The Goomba girl, Goombarella, something like that. She's a Mario OC. I feel, anyway. This went a little better before, actually. So this looks all kinds of wrong. You get into it and you don't really notice how you fucked up. But yeah, foreshortening's a bitch. If you want to get things right, you gotta actually do some effort, and that's annoying. And you don't always get it right anyway. So do your best. How's that? How's that for a statement? Just do your best. Stay in school. Eat as many drugs as you're comfortable with, and drink just enough to make you look cool. That's my bad advice. I feel like the V for Victory is also sort of a Sonic thing. Sonic does that. But I guess a lot of Japanese characters do that. Like, it's a cheerful. It's an expression of cheer and a love of life, and we can appreciate it. At least I can, anyway. So, yeah. And I also today, I believe it was on Amazon, I got a capture card because I like playing the Switch a lot, and I'm playing Pokemon, and I want to stream it, but it is sort of a mess, and I don't have a capture card yet, so I've only been streaming PC games. Well, the two PC games I've been streaming, Street Fighter 5 and Sekiro, mostly Sekiro, and I feel like I'd want to do some console games. I do have an Xbox 360 in here, so, and the PS4 and the Switch, and those are like all decent platforms with fun games I can stream. So I figured, yeah, I'll bite the bullet, and it is November, so there are some nice deals on electronics. So I figured, you know what, I'm gonna get a capture card and I'm gonna stream some console games and Switch games specifically, and also a lot of really cool indie stuff I tend to get on the Switch, because it's just so much more comfortable for me anyways to play indie games on a handheld, because really any game on a handheld, so long as it runs well. Just, I'm weird in that I like the comfort of something, of a device I can snuggle with, so to speak. Yeah, what do I do with his other hand? What does he do? I mean, I can just sort of have it sort of like raising a fist, like he has his fist here, sort of like, yeah. I don't know. What should this plain old Mario? What should this plain old Mario do? Ooh, let's give him a bit of an excited sort of this action. Yeah, he's happy to be here, dude. That made him look weird. That immediately made him look weird. I was all for it until just a second later, and then the magic was gone. So yeah, I don't know. What can you do? What can you do with an extra Mario hand? I mean, you can... Nah. Let's not do that. Any of that. You can... I mean, there is the instinct to give him an extra sort of buff arm, just for the sake of it, just for the silly goof factor. You can sort of do like a hella demonic sort of thing with it. It's like bulging and veiny and on fire, and gritty, and he's like, I'm so upset and I have massive eyebrows, but that's not what we're going for. Not this stream anyway. Yeah, let's just lasso and delete all of that nonsense. I don't know. It is. Let's mess around with the possibilities though. We can have him sort of like this, maybe? Yeah, I guess. This isn't my life's work. Although by the time it took me to draw this humble little Mario, it might as well be. So, we get this going, and we give him a thumb. And we sort of... Let's give him a hand, everybody. We made it. I made a pun. We made a joke on the stream. Where's my special convention, right? That's dedicated to how awesome I am. It happens just long enough after TwitchCon so that you get upset that you have to book another flight to be there while it is in the same sort of venue. I don't know, I'm really off the rails right now. I feel like this should be a special occasion. I feel like this might be a world record, the longest time it took anyone to just line art a Mario. That's like an achievement. That's something. That's something someone probably that's a new record I've set. I feel like I should get Guinness on the phone and be like, yo, and he'll be like, yo, and then I'll hang up because they'll get too nervous to talk about anything. But they'll know I've broken some sort of record. Yeah. Records are much like rules, meant to be broken. This is not an elbow. I don't know what it says, but an elbow it is not. Once again, my arch nemesis, foreshortening. And then foreshortening is like for sure. Then do a little bit of this. I mean, it looks like Mario, but then again, so does Eduardo from before. I'm not fast on the draw. Even when I'm focused and not speaking while I'm at it, I'm not a fast artist. Or an artist at all, really. So, I'm not a fast sketcher. I take my time, I let it be this long, arduous, exhausting thing. And I tend to clench the stylus far too hard. I don't know why. It might be because I'm used to making very like speedy, harsh lines if I'm drawing on paper, and that shit does not translate all that well with Wacoms, with stylus and digital painting. It sort of conflicts with the sort of mindset and movement you gotta be a bit more, well, far more actually, deliberate with your movements and your lines. Otherwise it looks like this shit, which I think looks cool, but it becomes a bit muddied and weird, and I don't know, it might not be a great fit for everything. It's a weird sort of, it's a different sort of energy, I feel, when you're drawing digitally, that you gotta go for just how it goes. If you want to aim for something that's like that. Like there's a cleanliness to digital art that that is sometimes interesting. It's like that it can do certain things, but other things are lost. I feel in the way that, like, you can't get the same results as you do with an actual brush stroke or pencil marks. Even if you get the right brush and textures, there's something about a genuine uh, uh, brush stroke or a pencil line that I feel like you can't replicate with digital art. But you can really easily fix some mistakes, which is super handy if you make a ton of mistakes, like moi. I make too many mistakes. I feel like if you don't make any mistakes, you probably don't end up on Twitch. This is the place where people who make mistakes go. Well, either that or I mean, if you don't make any mistakes, you're living the life, I guess, or something. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's weird. Like someone might watch this, and be like, there's a genuine misery, misery that's emanating from this guy while he's drawing one of the most lovable, happy-go-lucky characters alive. And I don't think it's untrue, but I don't think I'm miserable. I think I'm miserable sounding, and I'm sort of a very low energy dude some of the time. And when I'm focusing on something, that really shines through because my head is busy on the thing I'm focusing on. So then I get shut down even more. And then I start talking like this while I'm trying to draw lines. And I try to make a point and I never get to it. So I don't know how arms work. Let's see. Maybe I'm guessing that's a Mario. It's a me. I can't get there. I can't do the voice. I tried. I came out with a small pathetic whimper, and that's all I got, and that's all you're gonna get. And I'm sorry, but that's just how it is. So yeah, we got ourselves a little Mario over here, you know. And he seems to be enjoying himself. And you can't knock that. Let's make his hand bigger, because you know what they say about guys with big hands, or yeah, they're probably cartoon characters. I feel like I'm the worst person to watch if you're having a bad day, or the best. If your sort of thing is, I wonder if other people are having a bad day. I'm not having a bad day. I just have that bad day energy, I feel. I don't know. Could be that I'm just trapped within the maze, my mind maze. I don't know. It sounds deep, and it isn't. Or is it? It isn't. But what if it was? See, it's that sort of surface level, budget philosophy sort of thing that I'm doing, and I guess that's bad. That's good. I feel like I like purposely doing stuff that I know I hate, but still doing them, but being like, yeah, but I'm doing it purposefully, and then recognizing the fact that I'm doing it, but still like not changing my behavior. Does that make sense? Probably not. It's probably yet another insane fucking thing. This is all kinds of wrong. Fingers don't do that. Fingers don't look like that. Fingers are, even Mario's fingers, while extremely sausagey, are tend to look a bit differently than that. So we got this, and there we go. Or here we go. If you want to be my lover, you gotta get with my friends. Or is that how it goes? I don't know. I don't remember, rather. But that song did play quite a bit back in the day. So we're almost at an hour, and we've got ourselves one very small, insignificant, criminally simple, not criminally simple, I want to say simplistic, yeah, let's go with that, simplistic doodle that I've conjured up, and a masterpiece right by it. So we can just put those two together. This is Mario, this is Eduardo, and I am tense and sore because, again, I'm both, it's a weird, I'm semi-calm though very noticeably nervous, and I just held on to this stylus too harsh, and maybe that's expressed through the lines I've made, both verbally and on the virtual canvas. The virtual canvas. I don't know. I don't know. But it is what it is. And that's what it is, and Popeye the Sailor Man. So, you know. You probably don't know. I keep saying so you know as if anyone, I don't even have any idea what I'm talking about, but maybe that's the thing. Maybe someone has any idea what I'm talking about. And that someone both could and should stop watching this. Let's just give him some, basic, like, fun coloring, just whatever, what can we cook up for our boy Mario over here? We can do this, right? And maybe change some brush settings and let's start filling some blanks in, some male blanks in. I'm filling some blanks. I'm doodling a Mario and I'm filling some goddamn blanks. And maybe get that brush softer, just you know, and get that flow jitter down. Do 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 do. And I like having some. I know that his official sort of jeans are a bit darker than that, but I feel like just having some fun, brighter colors, more of a pastel sort of thing, is what I need in my life right now. More of a pastel vibe. So there's that. I made a voice. I made a dumb noise. Yeah. This is not what I need. Here's the problem with the drawing stuff, right? It's difficult, and it is not, and it can be extremely frustrating at times. So have fun with art, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Sure. Why not? Let's get some of that signature red going. If I'm remembering correctly, and I say that a lot. That's sort of a speech pattern I've noticed. Maybe it's in something when I have to speak in English. That sort of weird habit that formed. But I believe that in the original games, his overalls were red and his undershirt under the overalls was blue. And they changed that later on. Like even in the added materials for the games, like the comic books or the instruction booklet, they've had straight up blue shirts with red overalls. It's not like they didn't have the choice. So it's a weird little thing. I think even on the Donkey Kong arcade cabinets they had that Mario color scheme. So it's a fun little tidbit for you all to enjoy. There is something about coloring that I find oddly relaxing sometimes. Because you don't have to think too much about the lines you're drawing. You don't need to think about composition or proportions or foreshortening. You just go to town and splash some colors around. So I'm enjoying that aspect of coloring. Let's just brighten up some of that. And let's get some of that in there. So yeah, now I'm having a blast. I should have just started with coloring. I should have had the whole thing drawn ahead. It would have taken far less time, far less valuable time, and I could have just done that from the beginning instead of being dumb, instead of being big Dumbo. Let's get that skin tone, that sort of yeah, Mario is white. I didn't really think about it up until now, but I'm guessing old Mario is a white person. You don't even think of him as like is Mario human? Is Mario a human man? What is he? Because when you see him in like Mario Odyssey, there are some normal, well, relatively normal human-looking people, and he does not fit in with them. So I don't know. Is Mario a human being? Can't tell. Let's try some. Let's try some of this. And mix it up a bit. So fill that in. Get some of that blue in there. He does have blue eyes. And his hair does not match his mustache, right? Let's see. So he does have sort of a very nice pronounced brown. I'll go with a more pastel brown. And my dog entered the room and desires my attention. So I will just finish up coloring. She's scratching the chair, ruining the padding. So that's that. Oh, she's scratching me in her desperate bid for attention. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? How's it going? Not sure if you could pick up her sniffs, but she did a few of those. Excuse me. Yeah, this should be. It's good enough. That's what that is. Good enough. We got ourselves a Mario. We got ourselves a Mario over here, and he seems pretty happy about it, and I guess I am too. So, yeah, that's my stream. That's me drawing a Mario and really making the lighting on his legs look weird, so that's fun. Bye.